This is a psychic development reading for the seeker, and I'm going to go ahead and surround myself in light. Okay. And your guide is already surrounding you in light. Okay, so the first thing I'm seeing is, oh my gosh, what is this one called? I know the name of this one. I know the name of this one. What are you called? I don't remember the name of this one. I know the name of it. I'll send you the name of it because I know it. I don't know. I'm not remembering it immediately. Um, but this, this stone though, one of um, the things that it's associated with is telling the future. Like it gives psychic visions, not only of the future actually, but just psychic visions in general. Okay. So this is a clairvoyant stone. And they were showing me your third eye. So clairvoyance, but then I'm also getting, I feel like the abdomen. And so this is clairsentience as well. And I'm getting, the claircognizance, which is like clear thinking, clear audience. Those I just don't feel as much with you. So it doesn't mean that they would never operate. You might hear something at times. But the ones predominantly are probably going to be your clairvoyance and your clairsentience. Okay, so now that actually kind of goes along with some of what you were sending me as well, because the visions that you sent me. So that kind of goes along with the clairaudience there. But then the clairsentience, I talked about this in one of my recent videos because that's how I read too, actually. But the clairsentience, it just helps you feel out what do the pictures mean. But then also I'm getting that it helps you almost, helps you feel out where the person is coming from. You can feel out clearly where somebody is coming from. When they're speaking with you, you can kind of get a sense of them, and that's actually a gift. That might seem kind of mundane or it doesn't seem as obvious, but that's also a gift. The other thing that gives you is that you are more approachable to people and you are more open to them. So you're amiable and you're loving, you are friendly, you are gentle. So there's a sensitive nature. Okay, now I'm feeling my hands here. Um, but then they're showing me the third eye again. Okay, so the hands, what they're coming in with is a healing ability. Okay, but and they're also again the abdomen. So healing doesn't necessarily always come through someone's hands. Um, you can heal somebody by stating something over them, or in this case, you can heal someone by visualizing something. You can heal someone just by feeling it intensely, or you can direct a feeling towards somebody with visualizations. And then because I was feeling the hands also, so can you could use your hands. If you're feeling to use your hands, you can use your hands, but you would visualize and feel something almost moving through your hands, and feel an intent for the person, because it's your emotions that are really going to heal someone. But that's a very strong gift with you. You have the clairvoyance, so mediumship is definitely a direction that you could go. But for you, there is also healing ability as well. Okay. So that's another direction that you could go with this, or obviously you can go in both directions. You can do both, because I mean I know I get a sense from you. You know, you've talked about how you would kind of want to be a spiritual teacher or something, but I also kind of get the sense from you you would also want to give readings or healings and this type of thing as well. Um, and you do have a gift for that. Okay, so we're gonna go ahead and talk about the first question a little bit. And you were basically asking your guides, this lady, did she give you accurate information or not? Okay, so I have your guide coming up behind me. Seeing so clearly some kind of like a moth, I think, with wings. And so she's coming in with like a fairy energy is what that's about. Okay, so obviously this is uh I guess she's just reminding me who you are. That's right. Who she is, I mean. Okay, so yeah, I remember her. This is the guide that, because I read a lot of people, so there's there's a lot of guides that come in, even though I've read you multiple times. So this is the guide that normally comes in with your readings, the female guide, but I've got a male guide coming in too now. I don't remember if a male guide has ever come up with you or not during a reading. I'm getting a lot of heat on my back too. So if you ever feel heat on your back during a meditation or anything like that, he's coming in like that for me right now. He's also attempting to stir these abdomen chakras, because I'm getting it on my back, but I'm getting it right behind my abdomen. So kind of the lower to middle back. God, like my is that is that hot everywhere else? My sweater is hot back there even. Okay. So they have kind of a balance here, because when she was coming in, she was giving me this really calming energy. And that's also more, especially where the healing abilities would come in. She is sending me an energy of the clairvoyance as well. Now with him, he's activating these chakras. So there's kind of this almost fire energy with him and this water energy with her. And I also feel like though both can give you the same thing, both can help you with the same thing. Okay, so see, this is mediumship as well. Um, if you are, okay, they want me to explain this a little bit. Okay, if you are reading someone psychically, this means that, well, it would be extremely difficult to do this at a distance. And it would probably be inaccurate if you're doing it from a distance and you are only using psychic ability. The reason is that with psychic ability, a lot of the time, the person's body language comes into play, and different tools, like maybe they use cards and things to pick up information. They also use the person's energy. They feel out their energy. Now, sometimes this can be very accurate. Other times you have some psychics that are primarily going by almost like suggestion. Is the person fidgeting in the chair? How does the person seem? What do they come across like? And kind of read into it a little bit that way. And a psychic can use that. I mean, it doesn't necessarily mean they're definitely not psychic, but also just a magician or someone like that could do that. Now, and that's not saying, like I said, some psychics are quite accurate. Now, with a picture, it would be difficult to do, though, because the person isn't there in front of you. And from a distance, especially, you really have to go with mediumship, because then it's not just pictures in your own mind that have to do with the person's energy. It's pictures coming from your guides, feelings coming from your guides, thoughts coming from your guides, emotions coming from your guides, about this person, about what you need to say to this person, what you need to describe to this person. So they're saying that you're going to have to learn how they communicate with you. Okay, all right. Yeah, they're getting to that too. See, this is the thing about that little reading that you gave to Wolf and myself. Okay, because like I said, you have ability. You obviously have ability, and so that, as far as what the medium that you went to was saying about that, that's just bullshit. Honestly, that's bullshit, because it was very obvious that you have ability. However, with Wolf, you were very accurate. Only like there was only like one or two things that were off. They weren't inaccurate. Like the fear, like you were saying, this one person is afraid when they're dealing with this person, whereas it was actually flipped. It's actually this person is fearful and this person is dealing with this fearful person, but they are actually more calm. So this was quite accurate. You just flipped the people. And this is just because you are just learning this, and so that happens. Now, with me, it felt accurate to me, like it felt accurate as in it definitely meant something. There was something accurate about it. But it's just figuring out what it means, because you're just learning this. And that's what your guides are saying. You have to learn what the pictures mean. But when you're so accurate with Wolf, with the things that you're saying, I mean, describing the mom, describing the sister, describing the dad. It was flipped, but describing the dad. And so that's especially for just starting off, that's very accurate. It's just that, so it's not about accuracy. What it is about um, how do you get the pictures? How do your guides give them to you? How do they show you what they mean? So, how do you get the pictures from them, and how do you interpret the pictures that you get from them? It really is interesting that you are coming to me, especially for this, and to learn how to do this and go about this, because what what she's telling me is she's pointing again to the third eye, and then to the abdomen, and then she's kind of um, giving me a feeling of symbols. But then I get the feeling that, you might have some symbols for things, but that it's going to mostly be the clairsentience that guides what the pictures mean. And there again, that's how I primarily read things. So they're saying that you're coming to the right person. This is good that 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 we have this connection in this way. This is good for you, because you're actually going to be reading in the same way primarily. And they're saying even the way that you have been reading, if you look back on that, you're going to find that it's exactly um, clairsentience and clairvoyance, they're saying, that's helping you interpret. So the feelings helping you interpret what the pictures mean. So they're saying to listen to the feelings and describe the feelings. What does it feel like? What does the picture feel like? And this isn't just an emotion, okay? Maybe you're feeling like the person is really low. They send you a picture and it's describing a feeling, a really low feeling. Um, but then again, you can get a feeling of what it means. Okay, so it might be a logical thing. It might be you are supposed to go in this direction uh and not this one. Like you're supposed to be a painter and you're not supposed to write books, maybe, right? Okay, just a silly example. So now, even though this is logical, this is not like a feeling based thing exactly. This is just point A or point B. So that's excuse me. Oh, I need some water. Okay. Okay, so it's like I said, it's either point A or point B. So it's like a logical thing, versus connecting to the emotion of the person. Okay, but so that's a little bit difficult to explain, but you can get a feeling. It's like a gut feeling. Okay, I'm sure you've gotten this before. A lot of people get this. You definitely get this, where you're, you know, wa- walking around doing whatever, and maybe you're going to go and do something, and then you get this feeling in your gut like, I shouldn't do that thing. Or maybe I should do this. This would be a really good thing to do. This would be a good place for me to go, whatever, right? So that's a gut feeling that's telling you whether or not you should do a more like logically based thing. It's not like really an emotional thing like I feel sad right now. It's, do I need to do this? Do I need to do that? And that kind of guides you and directs you through life. And that's really how clairsentience works. It can act in a way with clair empathy, okay, where you are observing the emotions of someone else, where you're aware of what they're feeling in a situation. That's what we call clair empathy. Clairsentience is feeling out what the information that you are receiving means, what the pictures you are receiving means. So it's going to be a little bit of both. You are definitely empathic, and that can definitely come out in your readings with clairempathy, but your clairsentience is going to help you navigate. What do these pictures mean? Even what do the feelings mean? If it's like an emotion or something that you're picking up from somebody, even clairsentience can help you figure out clairempathy. Okay, but they're saying that you need to get more grounded. They're saying that you're still kind of way up here, um, and not exactly grounded, where you can easily get get these messages. Okay, now there is some like physical. I know there's some kind of I think you said break dancing or something that you do. They're saying that does help. That does help with the grounding because it gets you in touch with your body, and so that helps you to ground. But what she's saying is that also it's not just about getting in touch with your body, it's about being calm. That's what she's saying. Being calm grounds you, not feeling disturbed grounds you, because she's saying that you are kind of an emotional person. You do have that emotional sensitivity, like was coming up earlier in the reading. And so um sometimes your emotions can make you a little bit all over the place. And also she's saying your passion, that you're a very passionate person about different things. Like it could even be a project or something, something that you just want to accomplish or do. Um, and also even something that you want to say, even when you are like speaking to people. She's also saying that you have the ability to be outspoken. That is also a quality with you that you have, that you are outspoken. Now, I feel like again with the emotional sensitivity, sometimes you might back away from that a little bit. Um, Almost be a little bit shy about actually speaking your mind, and I think that would be more because you don't want to hurt someone. But I'm actually feeling that is more of a negative programming. They're saying that sometimes you need to just let that come out, because sometimes you would be influencing people in the right way. Now they're also pointing out even the fact that you would give readings to a person, even though you're starting out. They're also saying that is a very good quality. Now, that doesn't mean go around and read people who who are going to be just offensive or rude or not really understand what you're doing because they're not into this at all. They're not open to it. Um, but being willing to read others who would be open to it despite the fact that you are kind of new to it is good. That's what you would need. You would need to be doing that because you need to have practice. Okay, right, okay. But they're saying they're reminding me of something that you said in the email about this medium that you went to see, how you were saying, you know, she had cigarettes in her house, the overall energy was kind of low. They're saying that you need to think about these things. This helps you know right there how your gifts operate. Um, Okay, obviously you're observing the cigarettes, and that tells you something. That's more just on a more psychic level, though. Not even really psychic. It's a mental thing. You're observing it, you know. You don't have to be psychic for that. You're seeing it. Now, feeling the energy, though, this is really, this is both, this is psychic and this is mediumship. To be psychic, like I said, you have to feel out the other person's energy. To be a medium, you have to be able to feel the person's guides, feel your own guides. So feel presences in the room and feel almost what is disturbing the vibration or what is making it harmonious. So being able to feel out a room, being able to feel out a person, that's part of mediumship. To know what's around the person or around yourself, what's influencing them, what's affecting them. And that's very helpful in a reading. Okay. But then also how you were saying, uh, you said something about everything that she said to me just struck me as like her ego was in it. Okay. And you're a very nice person. I always get that sense from you. You would be kind of a polite person. You would not be sitting there judging someone else. Okay. You didn't like just walk in her house and think, oh my God, this woman. you know, um, you were sitting there open to the lady, and she's saying these things, and you're getting a sense this is ego based. So it's not a judgment, it is an observation due to, there again, clear empathy. Okay, you are getting a sense of this person, an understanding of what they're feeling like and kind of what are their motives, what are they operating out of. But they're saying that you just have to grow them. And just like you can observe those types of things, to keep in mind, observing, they're saying the influences around yourself, who's speaking to you, um, when they're speaking to you, what they feel like, because they're saying that you're going to feel different things. You'll feel higher things, you'll feel lower things, you might even feel things in between, um, like a human, like somebody's departed ancestor. This would probably feel more in the middle somewhere, not necessarily really negative, not necessarily really high either. Just like a person, like a normal person. And then that would be up to you, you know, what you would want to be comfortable with reading. Obviously, lower energies you don't want to get into, higher energies you do, but then as far as anything in the middle, I don't personally read that, and that's up to whomever is reading, because um, most mediums read, they read in here. They read the person's departed loved ones, and they help them connect with those loved ones through their guides. So every medium pretty much is aware of their guides, or even if they're not aware of their guides are helping them get the information. But most mediums are aware of their guides, and they're aware that their guides do help them throughout the reading. So it's just up to you, you know, almost where you would want to go with it and what you would want to explore and dive into or tap into. Okay, but hmm, they are showing me they're showing me a Ouija board. So basically they're saying there's some things that you don't want to tap into, that you don't want to try. There are some things that you have to kind of feel out, or that you can even ask me about. Um, and I doubt that you would ever use a Ouija board, or really think about using a Ouija board. You're probably aware that that is more negative, but they're using that as an example to just say some things you don't really want to mess with, you don't really want to look into. Okay. um, and it's not necessarily all I mean, society says that certain things are positive and that are negative, and certain things are negative that are positive. So it's not necessarily in that way. Um, like spells or something. Society says that those are really bad when actually they're just really putting out an intention. Ouija, on the other hand, it seems like so many people use it. So many people use the Ouija board, and that's ridiculous. I have actually heard of a group that was using it somehow to connect with aliens. They were actually using it to connect with something in here, but that's very unheard of. I had never heard of that before. And that was actually coming through really accurately. That surprised me. I've never heard of a case like that. And so I don't recommend it for that reason, that you're pretty much always getting something way down here that's lower. And even if something higher could come through, they're not going to be attracted to something physical like that. They're going to be more attracted to someone who is open to their mental guidance. However, they're going to send that through emotions or pictures or thoughts, not not necessarily moving a physical thing. Like if you know, an entity moves a chair in somebody's house, a guide could do that. You know, Wolf, his guides before have flipped off the lights or flipped on the lights when he was communicating with them. um, and there used to be crazy flashes of light when he was really into meditating, which didn't even seem to be coming from a bulb at all. And even other people would witness this, not only him. So it's not that a guide can't do something physical, but still, to me, turning on a light or something is different from, you know, moving a chair across the room or something. If somebody's chairs and furniture are moving, that's a ghost. You know, these are ghosts. And so yeah, there are some things that you need to be careful with, and that's part of the reason that I don't like reading ancestors and things. um because I just feel like it can be lower, and a lot of my ancestors, they never really seemed to be into what I was doing with mediumship because they're mostly Catholic. And so they can kind of have a negative feel about what a modern person is doing. So so it really depends. But on the other hand, you know, someone who is deceased and knew someone here can also offer them a lot of comfort and help them understand that they've crossed over, that there is another side. So again, that's just really up to you and what you would want to help people with, because that can definitely be used positively. I just, for some reason, I just never really felt attracted to it. So you have to go with what you're drawn to. Okay. So now they want to go to question 2. Why am I seeing a phone? I'm seeing a cell phone. Didn't I see? I saw that in one of the other readings, didn't I? Okay. Um, I don't know why they don't really like this connection. On the other hand, it doesn't feel like it's that bad. Okay. It doesn't feel like it's that bad. It just feels like it's not in the direction that you need to go. Um, there's something about this person and a cell phone. Um, and I'm not really 100% sure on how to interpret that. I know in the other reading, they're reminding me of what it was that I got in the other reading. It was like you were looking at something on a cell phone, and that was how the energy felt. It almost felt like you were looking at something. Um, but yeah, you are, aren't you? Okay, okay. Um, they're wanting me to like almost describe energies, because they want me to help you understand how energies can almost come through sometimes. Okay, so I mean, that's the thing, that in that reading, it almost came through like you're looking at something, but this is a person. So are you looking at pictures of the person? Maybe are you looking, is it text from the person or an email from the person? um, and maybe sometimes like it'll come in really, really, really specific. Like that's what it is. It's definitely that. Then other times it might come in almost flat. You get kind of a feeling of like what it could be, but not necessarily what it is. And then that's when I say, so it kind of feels like there's a connection. There's something about this person and the cell phone, and, and that's when I just go, there you go, because I don't know what it is. There's not something coming in that's like really like, yeah, that's what it is. So that's when you just leave it to with the person. Now another thing that they want me to mention, and this even happened in the email, okay, that you sent Wolf and I. Um, that's the other thing. Now with him, you were very accurate with the people that you were feeling. That was very accurate. You were right about the fear with the dad. You were right about the food thing. You were right about the sister. That was all very accurate, and you didn't even know that he had a sister. So that obviously wasn't just your imagination. That was real. That was something real. Um, Now with me, see, sometimes an energy, when it comes through, especially about a person, maybe they show you a picture of a baby, right? But maybe that doesn't mean the person is a baby. It could mean different things. It could mean the person is just beginning something, just beginning a project, or they're new to spirituality, or something like that, right? Um, or maybe they're immature. It could be different things, and that's where you have to kind of go with your clairsentience. But also, a lot of times the gender can be off, and the reason is because it's energy. So you are feeling what the person is feeling like. So maybe, if you were feeling a masculine woman, okay, you might not think it's a woman because you're not seeing a picture of her. You are just feeling her. And maybe she's very active. Maybe she's very athletic and outgoing and, you know, climbing, or whatever. She is not like feminine. And vice versa. You can have a man who is more poetic and likes to read, and likes to take art classes, and is using more of his intuitive side and his feminine side. And so the roles can almost, they can be reversed. The energy can be like, it's just a feeling of what the person is like, of what the person feels like. So if they have a gentle nature, it can come across as female, as a female person, no matter what gender they are. And so, and that with me, very, very often that'll happen. And a lot of times there won't necessarily be a specific, this is this person when it comes through. So I just have to kind of describe the person. So sometimes it's vague, sometimes it's in the middle, and sometimes it's like dead on, like specifically the mother, or specifically the sister, or whatever. So that's another thing that you kind of have to be careful with and kind of watch out for, and also figure out how you read that. Um, so sometimes you are actually feeling something accurately, and especially in the beginning, you're just unsure of how to interpret it. So I didn't feel that what you were getting about me was inaccurate. It just, especially because of you reading Wolf, like I said, it felt like it meant something, and it felt that way anyway. But I think sometimes, yeah, in the beginning, you can just be a little bit off on what does this mean exactly? Because it's just like a lot of feelings and a lot of pictures, and you have to learn how your mind works in this way, because we're not taught in society to learn how our intuitive mind works. We're only taught how the logical mind thinks, and a little bit about how the artistic mind plays and creates, but not really. We don't learn like how to mesh them both. We're very separate about them. And the other thing that we don't learn is we don't learn how our intuitive mind, or our intuitive body, our spirit body works. So we're taught more to close that off. Okay, they're reminding me about something else in the email. No, no, they're saying I don't have to look it up. Okay, then I'm just going to sit here for a minute and let them remind me what it is. Oh, yeah. Okay. Oh, this was the older email, the one that you said that you sent multiple times by accident. Okay, so they're reminding me of something that you said in there. You said that you were afraid of your visions at first because of this thing that society puts on them. And you said like society almost poses it like anything coming from your mind, like I was saying, the intuitive mind. Well, really, it's just a dream or an illusion. It's just like a fantasy. Um, and I noticed in the next email that you sent when you're speaking about this lady that you went to, because the other email that you sent was before you went to this lady, if I'm not mistaken. No, I'm not. Okay. And so this lady though, um, if I remember, yeah, okay, I am remembering, right? Okay. So this lady was telling you that basically, oh, well, these visions aren't real that you're getting. They're just illusions and they come to you from the music that you're listening to. So I guess you were listening to some meditation music or something when you were attempting to connect with your guides. Um, so what this showed me right away, right off, was that your own fear, your own belief that you are still releasing is what attracted this woman to you, who basically confirmed that belief for you. You had this belief of what society says and how people are going to think of you. They're going to think, well, this is all in your head. This is just a dream or a vision. It's a fancy. It's an illusion. It's a fantasy. So you end up attracting someone who tells you this is an illusion. It comes to you via the music that you're listening to, which was ridiculous. So I'm figuring that you weren't outspoken about it and did not tell her that, the person that you read said that it was accurate. Um, but if it's accurate for the person, there's not really a question of, is it coming to you from the music that you're listening to. But they're just making it clear you attracted that out of a belief that you're holding, a fear of what others are going to think. And even a little bit about what you hold for your own self, that it could be that, or maybe that's what it is. And they're saying that you still have that a little bit. Hmm. Now they're showing me a picture. You're holding up cards, like tarot cards, and then you're kind of throwing them over to the side for a bit. They're saying not to use tools right now. They're saying that right now you have to get comfortable with just your guides and the flow of energy. How does their energy feel to you? God, they're reminding me of the Starseed course again. It reminded me of that in one of your other readings too, but they're reminding me of that section where it talks about guides and how to connect with the guides and spending time with them every day. They're saying at the same time, at right around the same time, so that you almost develop an energy at that certain time in the day or night. So they're saying to develop a pattern of um, like spending time with your guides, speaking with your guides at certain times of the day or of the night or evening. No, but I know they didn't exactly finish question 2, so I was just kind of in my head just asking, so where did that come from? Because you were asking why. Why have you always been interested in this person? Um, but I almost feel I got that energy before too. It almost feels like this almost that's the word, nostalgia. It almost feels like nostalgia, almost like a childhood kind of fancy kind of thing. It feels like this childhood kind of uh almost fantasy, kind of like fancy. Um but then there's this other energy that they're giving me though. So it doesn't only come from that. They're saying that it also comes from this yearning to be close to someone, to be near someone in that way. As far as like a partner, they're saying to have a partner who really understands you. Um, and they're saying in depth, who understands the depths of you and you understand the depths of them. They're also saying that you could have that because of your gentle nature. You could attract someone who is true if you are in the right energy. But I'm also feeling like this is going to take some more development on your part. Not that you push or anything. It's what you just allow naturally. So that wasn't exactly the right way to put it. That like it takes more development from you. That sounds like you have to put effort in or something, but I wasn't really meaning it in that way. This development it's just gonna occur. It's gonna happen naturally. But basically, it's like put your focus on what you're developing intuitively and spiritually, because that's going to put you in the right area and almost in the right arena where you would meet this person. Okay, because she's saying this is coming through very intensely, that this person is psychic too. This person is spiritual too. They have a spiritual nature, this person that you're going to be with. But they're saying to almost put this other person aside now, because it's almost like they were just out of a longing, and also like an almost like a childhood like nostalgia or something. So this must be someone almost, um even maybe from your childhood. I keep feeling the childhood. um and I'm also seeing school. So like you you met the person in school, or that it was like a school age when you met this person. Okay. I think it has more specifically to do with school, though, that you might have met the person in school. But there's a lot of energy surrounding it. They're saying of just almost wanting to find home, wanting to connect with someone, because they're also saying that this person is going to be from they're going to be from planet, really. They're saying they're going to be from your home planet. They're also saying the word dimension. They're going to be from your home planet's dimension. Um, so they are actually indicating that you are a star seed. but there are other things in the origin as well. I know when we tried to do the origin reading, this was a while back when we attempted that, and there were a lot of blocks that came up, and I actually had to put on my website because that was a newer reading then, and you were like the second person that happened to. I had yours and I had one other where the guide said, yeah, we can't talk about that yet because we want to help the person with blocks. And but I feel like whatever it is, they've started clearing that, and mostly they've spoken about it. They've covered it, whatever it is. Um, So this is some information that could actually come through now. They don't want to get to it in this reading. And so yeah, so they're saying this because, I know that you get readings with me a lot. I know you're going to be getting other ones. So that that is something that they could actually speak about now to you whenever you're ready to think about that. Okay. And also they're also saying to attempt to receive it on your own. So this could also be like a confirmation of your accuracy, or it could help you learn how to navigate through it more if it's inaccurate. But either way, it's your interpretation of something, okay? Because no matter what you get, it doesn't really mean that it's inaccurate. Like, let's say you have had lives in one location and that comes into your head. Your origin is something else, and that does not come into your head. You know what I mean? So it doesn't necessarily mean that it's inaccurate. Because you have had past lives in the one location. It just means you weren't exactly sure how to interpret this. Sometimes even when I'm doing like an origins reading, that will happen, or like a past life reading, or any reading where the guides bring up origin or they bring up past lives, which sometimes comes up during any reading. But sometimes I'll get a past life energy, like they've had lives here, and I'll get this feeling like, that's not really the origin though. And then the origin will be something different. So you know what I mean? It can be, it can be nothing's really inaccurate is what I'm trying to say. Not with you anyway. I don't feel like most things would be inaccurate with you. I feel like they might be expressed in the wrong way. Um, they're saying even rehearsed in the wrong way. Hmm. Okay, which would indicate that maybe sometimes you're thinking to yourself about how you are going to approach someone with what you get, how you're going to tell it to them, and then it might almost come out in the wrong way. So they're saying to keep it intact as it is, almost to let it go, don't think about it after until you're going to tell the person. Otherwise, you can just kind of jumble it around in your head and it doesn't really end up as accurate as it would be because you thought about how to approach them. And they're also saying the fear thing about how people are going to look at it or think of it can almost kick into play, and then you can almost create that tension that wasn't there. Okay, something else is coming through, but I think I'm going to meditate on that for a little bit, and I'm going to tell you that in the email because that kind of involves me also. Okay. But it's something that they're suggesting. Okay. There's one other thing that they want to say. Something about the heart chakra. This is connected to a past life though. I don't have time to get into a past life right now. It's Do you have something quickly that you wanna say to okay, no, they don't have anything else that they want to say. All right. So okay, so there we go. That's the end of this reading, and I don't know what I'm saying, as I'm sure you figured out happens by the end of some of these readings. I just feel like, what am I saying? I don't know what I'm saying anymore by the end of it. But right, oh my God, no, she's putting the sentence that I usually say in my head. Thank you for allowing me to do this reading. She's literally putting the sentence in my head. Okay, so I just feel like I don't need to say this to you. I always say this to you. I've had so many readings with you. I just want to be like, okay, great reading, bye, or something stupid. Okay. Thank you for allowing me to do this reading for you. I I don't. Okay. Namaste. Cut the film. Cut it. Bye.